Well, today we're going to a familiar place if you watch my rhino videos. Desert Queen Mine. It's near a place we like to camp called Vicksburg. And there once was a little town here as far as I know, but I haven't been able to find a zip code for Vicksburg. Or there's a bunch of buildings over here. They're still used. It's like used to be a gas station there, and now there's like a little campground and stuff. I don't have my tracks with me. Loaded into my GPS. I've got a good wealth of GPS tracks for off-roading in Arizona, and there's too many to fit inside the antique GPS that I have, so if I go to one place to another, I need to swap out tracks. Well, this is the old gatehouse. As far as I can see, is an old gatehouse here. There's something there. It's no longer distinguishable, but it looks like almost like it was a guard shack, because there's a shaft up on this side, and then we'll go up around this way. We'll get a nice little view of the valley. And it looks like it was all access into here. There were some buildings down on that way. They're just foundations now. And I believe that's where the folks used to live. There's somewhere back in here. I haven't been able to find it yet. It was a town called Weaver. And there's supposed to be at least foundations and stuff left of that, some old ruins. This is one of the old ore chutes. It used to start up there. There was a head frame at the top of the hill, and it would slide down here, see the little chutes. Come down here, and there was a processing plant down there. You can still see some foundations and pilings. Well, let's go over to the mine itself. This right here is one of the reasons why they tell you to be careful around mine sites. Underneath this wood, and I've seen this uncovered before, is one of the air shafts. I mean, it goes down probably, this one here probably goes down 50 feet or so, using the rock drop test. And there's one over here too. It doesn't go down that far. I believe it goes, there's a horizontal shaft that goes along this way. This is the mine. They warn you not to go in these things, but people do. I've been into one that was pretty deep. A friend of mine knew it pretty well, and you could climb up to like 3 levels and do some pretty neat exploring. I'm not gonna have I don't have a flashlight with me, but I keep threatening to do that. What you have to watch out for is as you go through, they've in some of these tunnels they've dug straight down. They try to do things with the least amount of effort that was necessary, because the effort, if you look at all this, this was all blasted, hand hammered out, blasted, removed, and dumped over the side. One of the telltale signs of mining is when you look out in the hills out in Arizona are the tailings. It's all the waste from the mine, the rock that they removed, and low-grade ore and stuff like that were just dumped over the edge and just piled up. So you'll see this on a mountainside somewhere, and you for sure you can go up there and find that. This is a head frame, so the ore cars would come out. That's what these ties are from, actually. Or actually, those are probably supports from in the shaft. But there used to be ties that would come out here, and railroad tracks. The carts would come out here with the ore, and rails would take them right out there, and you can still see some of the cross ties right out there. Dump it in the top, sort it out, will come down to the bottom. Vehicle would take it down to the processing plant that's over there. But it's a real pretty little place up here. You get a little bit of a view. This was a foundation to one of the buildings out here. The only thing I can think of is this was like the mine owner's house or something. And, you know, the crews would be out in like half buildings, half tents. Back in the washes again. Yep. Down in the sand again. So, since the last time I was out, I've put a 13-tooth front sprocket on. And it was worth every one of the 13 bucks. 18 bucks. Whatever. Definitely worth it. It's really made the difference between revving out in first and lugging around in second, and in the same vein as "Thank you, sir, I'll take another," I'm going to probably put the rear sprocket on. I'm going to go from a 40 tooth to a 43 tooth in the rear. That'll also suck up some of the chain slack that I put in there. It'll mess up the speedometer, but I don't really care too much about that. I've got a GPS. And really it's only off by 4 miles an hour, something like that. The other thing it'll knock off is the trip meter and odometer a little bit, but it doesn't really matter too much. Well, remember to take plenty of water this time, which makes the trip a lot more pleasant when you're not all dizzy from being dehydrated. Well, that was a nice little trial run. Probably put about 10 miles on, something like that. Stop at the trailer, get a little something to drink, something to eat for lunch, and head out back again. Hey, doggy.